If we were to talk about things that the game needs to fix before introducing new content, and if we were to take opinions from a broad audience into consideration, we could spend a lot of time sitting here just talking about all the things that bother us and cause us to complain over and over again. And I mean, well, I do that a lot in fact. However, that is not the goal of today's video. The other day I had a little hangout with a bunch of you trying out YouTube streaming, and the point was essentially just talking about Overwatch and answer as many questions as I can. In the midst of these questions, somebody asked me which will be the 3 most urgent things that I'd like to see implemented in the game. And that got me to think, that is a really easy video to make, so why not redirect this question to the entirety of my community? So today I'm gonna be talking about 3 things that I would like to see implemented in Overwatch, which I guess is a fitting subject given that BlizzCon is just around the corner. And I'd like to encourage you guys to leave your ideas down the comment section as well. No whining today, no demanding to fix thing X, Y, Z. Let's just take a shot out into the blue and throw around some ideas for things we'd like to see in the game. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Number 1 on my list is a clan system. Now, as a content creator as well as from a player's perspective, there are a few reasons why I would love to see this make its way into the game, and that also means that there are some very specific features I'd like to see incorporated. For one thing, it would be a very cool way to find other people from the community. If I was able to just send out an invite link to anyone who wants to join, and we would then all get a clan tag in front of our names, we'd be able to immediately identify each other as like-minded. It would be an easy icebreaker to make new friends, find people to play with, and have someone to talk to about all the things your other friends might not be interested in, such as very specifically tailored to this channel things surrounding rank play. Furthermore, it would make it easier for me to manage things like viewer games. It's something that comes up during my streams every once in a while, and I don't usually feel like it's worth the effort to raffle out people from the chat and then go through the process of adding them via Battle.net and so on. It will be so much easier for content creators to assemble teams to play with their viewers without having to add them on Battle.net, and by that opening yourself up to a level of accessibility that you might find annoying. But to move away from a content creator's perspective, if a clan system was introduced with a directory of members and it had options to show different states, that would be a really helpful tool in avoiding awkward conversations. Imagine the game will let you choose between Do Not Disturb or looking for a quick play duo, as well as a way to let your clanmates know that you're specifically looking for a tank main around 3800 SR. I feel like that will make grouping up between friends as also grouping up in larger communities a lot more easy and more pleasant. I could keep going on about why I would love to see a clan system in Overwatch, but I think you get the point by now, so let's move on to the next one. Something that I wanted to dedicate its own upload to, but I was never sure whether or not it would be long enough to make for a worthwhile video, so let me present why I think that a dedicated team queue should most certainly make its way into the game. When I'm talking about team queue, I mean something along the lines of a mini-league, something that allows players to experience the game as it was meant to be, in a set team of 6 members opposing other teams of 6. Every season, players could get together and sign up to join this type of ladder, and they would only be able to compete with these 6 individuals that they signed up with at the beginning of the season. Their rating in this queue would not affect their solo queue matchmaking rating, and it would not matter what rank your teammates are. In an environment where everyone competes in pre-made teams of 6, it doesn't matter if one guy is a Grandmaster and the other one is a Gold, because what it comes down to is their coordination and teamwork. This type of environment would urge players to learn how to play the game properly, working as a coherent unit, respond to hero swaps, and adapt strategies, rather than just participating in the solo queue matchmaking lottery. Now obviously there are a bunch of things I could discuss here in detail, like the fact that if one guy suddenly doesn't want to play anymore, the rest of the team would not be able to compete anymore either. It is something that I deem necessary for the sake of balance, to make it as easy as possible for the game to assign a skill value to your team and put you up against other teams of a similar skill level. I would expect this kind of a competitive environment to come with a unique set of rewards that encourages players to dedicate themselves to the competition. Ultimately, I would love to have people realize that Overwatch is a completely different game when playing in a pre-made team of 6, and I am honestly under the impression that a lot of players will find this kind of a competitive experience very pleasant, which would give them ever the more reason to be dedicated and not just drop out midway through. But until then, I guess you would not be able to go around giving players a carrot on a stick to bait them into at least trying it. I mean, God knows that 6 stacking is not a pleasant experience on the standard ladder as we know it today. Lastly on the list, I cannot help but voice my desire to want to see more support heroes in the game. I mean, sure, I love playing support. To me, Zenyatta and Lucio are amongst the most fun heroes currently in the game, and Mercy has just gotten that much more fun to play as well. But when it comes down to it, players who want to DPS have a lot of variety in their choices, whereas there's not that much variety when it comes to the support bracket. I mean, sure, you could argue the same thing for tanks, but just basing this off of comments that I have read personally, players are seemingly not that much into the current roster of supports. A lot of people said that that they are simply not fun to play, and who could blame them? Unless you dedicate a bunch of time into getting good at Lucio, he's kind of just a healing bot that speed boosts on occasion. Zenyatta gets destroyed thanks to his lack of mobility and ridiculously sized hitbox. Mercy is very passive, and Anna is dealing with her own set of "oh my god, I really don't want to play her in this current meta" kinds of problems. Listen, the question as to whether or not a hero is fun is obviously subjective, so I'm not looking for a new addition to the support roster that is the most or the only fun support in the game. I just want more variety, different ways of approaching the idea of supporting your team. Sure, more heroes that can function as main healers, but also utility-based heroes that bring something unique to the table, like Lucio's speed boost or Zenyatta's Discord orb. I know that there are some very creative people over there at Blizzard, so I really hope that they come up with some amazing new support heroes for all of us to enjoy. And I guess that wraps up my 3 picks for today's video. It kind of represents what I long for the most in Overwatch, which is a greater sense of community, a more pleasant competitive experience, and a bit more love shown to my favorite bracket of heroes in the game. But hey, now it's your turn. Let me know what you think the game should add to have you enjoy your time more, or even just quality of life changes for that matter. I'd be interested to hear what you guys can come up with. But until then, this is me done for the day as I talk about 3 things that I would love to see introduced in Overwatch. If you enjoyed this video, then do let me know by dropping me a like on your way out. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.